The online gacha space is not in a great spot right now.
What the fuck?
What's up, proxies? I'm FOXSOL and welcome to another video on the channel. Hope you enjoy. What's going on, Proxy, my man? Welcome to another topic of conversation and welcome to a recap video about Touhou. And the reason for this video is because I had about a 4 to 5 hour long call with the man on Thursday night, and in this call, I had learned a lot about this content creator. I've learned a lot from him, and I wanted to go ahead and do pretty much a recap on the conversation and present it to you guys here, because now again, my main thought pattern was when I was coming into this conversation, I wanted to be completely open-minded. I know that a lot of you guys out there had reached out to me, whether it was in private DMs or in general with the comment section. I had several different people that gave me several different opinions regarding Touhou. Some good, some not so nice, believe it or not. And well, I will just put it this way. Ultimately, I came into this conversation, I asked my questions, I discussed his thoughts on the current standing of the content creator space for the gacha games that we have out there, and in general, just to get an opinion on how he felt about all of these things, including the current big names of the content creators out there that is ultimately considered to be, quote unquote, from a lot of people, the problem children of the space. Well, within about an hour into this conversation, I can tell you that I was given my answers, and surprisingly with Touhou, he was very much, articulated in what he thought. And I will say like this as well, is that when you see him on a live stream and how he's talking, Touhou in a live stream and Touhou in a private conversation, he is the same person. Okay, the conversation that we had, he is not shy about his thought patterns, and it's very direct and straight to the point when we were having our conversation, just like he is in his live streams. And honestly, he had opened me up as well to explain to him pretty much my past interactions as well within the gacha space, mainly with Weather and Waves. And honestly, it felt like I was talking to a person who understood the meaning about objectively speaking as well. So, mass respect to Touhou for this conversation. It was quite an experience for me. I felt like it was a very educational, very eye-opening conversation. I've learned a lot from, from his own personal experiences within the last 8 or 10 years of his history of playing gacha games. And not just like the current state as it is now, but I learned in general how gacha space was back in the day. That really aren't just the big four that we talk about, Genshin, Honkai Star Rail, ZZZ, or Weather and Waves, but other spaces that's associated there where you could take a look at like Fate Zero, Grand Blue, and stuff like this. In general, like I said, it was a great learning experience, and from the topics that we had between one another, our thought processes on different games such as Weather and Waves and Zenless Zone Zero, and just the insight from him personally about Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail, which he had educated me on a lot. All of this together, man, like, he took the time, in my personal opinion, to even go out of his way to understand my mentality, because originally I come from the FGC, and he didn't take things that I was saying like some people do, which is completely literal when I was talking about ZZ. Instead, when I was comparing certain things like different mechanics or thoughts about how the relation of a fighting game was to Zenless Zone Zero, Touhou did share his observations and the same points when it came to the FGC, because while he might not play fighting games, he had admitted to me that he was a watcher of major tournaments such as like EVO, and had knowledge that helped in general for both of us to understand one another. That it was like when we were putting our mindsets together into this conversation, there was an open translation that we were able to pick off from one another by using mainstream games, Call of Duty, fighting games, and different parts of this conversation, that we were able to translate our thoughts together to one another very, very well. Overall, again, the experience that we shared in this call was like it was almost like what I did with Arikado. which I know, I will say this, disclaimer here, I know I need to make a video on that conversation as well, but honestly, I think with Arikado Zodan, in general, I think he's made his points very clear in his most recent videos, and I think that his recent video shows exactly how I said in my live stream that this is another content creator that honestly, I know people are a little bit too judgmental on him, and I think that they should take the time to talk to him in a non-biased way to really get his thoughts, because he is very much not what a lot of people do assume him to be. So hopefully this weekend I can go ahead and finish off the script that I have for Arikado, because I feel like the conversation that we had, I need to make sure I do real justice behind that video and ensure that it's really well edited, and at the same point in time I need to ensure that my thoughts go down well before I can produce that video, because that was a 6 to 7 hour call that we touched a lot of different subjects that was kind of hard to remember, and I want to make sure that I get a lot of things cleared up. So I might, if you watch this Arikado, I might end up having to come back to you and maybe have a little quick, quick note session about, hey, give me the cliff notes of what we had about this part. What's your mentality again? But anyway, back to Tuhu. Like I said in a video, the video before all this, I understood that when I came into this conversation, this man's reputation in the space was quote unquote ruined, according to some people. And with these some people, they just don't want to listen to him. They don't want to associate with him, as well as there's some viewers out there that don't want to overlook his past and give him a second chance. They just rather, focus on pretty much what they consider the bad things, which I'm going to be honest, I don't think what he really did was that bad. It's not like he was really trying to push an agenda. And with all the stuff that's floating around there, I'll say it like this. It didn't stop me from wanting to speak to him. It didn't stop me from wanting to come in with an open mind, and I'm glad that I did, because just listening to Tuhu, just listening to his thoughts and what his beliefs are in the space, and how we as a community need to call out misinformation when it comes out to all content creators, including ourselves, in all honesty, not just those that he was talking about. That we need to learn to take a personal responsibility, a personal accountability rather, to show that there is another side to all these communities that is open for a more fair discussion, a more openness. That is, we're willing to learn from one another, and that we should not be worried about being labeled as negative people, such as Kurobots, Hoyo shills, just because we have a different thinking pattern than someone else. So, to try to wrap things up a little bit, and with all this being stated, I look forward to possible collaborations, podcasts, or just in general working together with someone like Tuhu in this space, because deep down I do believe that it is time for us as a community to work to help others, to work to bring in different takes, to learn how to agree to disagree, and in the same time not be scared of others and what they think of us. And that we need to align ourselves with our own personal beliefs and work with those that in general makes our day, when it comes each and every day of entertainment and information, that we need to find those people who make us feel better about our gacha games, that we can entrust, that they're not going to lead us in the wrong direction. See, for me right now with the Zenless Zone Zero Space, I want to say that there's some great creators out there, and I want to give some shout outs to Kate the 7th, to Muzzy, to Hako, to Jade Nova, to even EO, just to mention a few of them. And in this community, I look at these people that I want to work more with the smaller content creators, the bigger content creators. While I will approach the side, with my content, I will approach the side of topic of conversation, which ultimately will fall more into quote unquote drama content. I still want to work with others in the space that, to help try to bring out a more clear message when it comes to this game, to help combat against those who are doom posting things without objectively even trying the game. In fact, I will say it like this for Tuhu, with full respect. I thank him for helping to inspire me to want to be more active and just in general be a better content creator in this space. While I will say again, I am still new, 3 months in, still learning Zenless Zone Zero. I still want to work with everyone from the viewers to the content creators just to find a way of making this space a better one each and every day. So with all this being said, I'm not going to take any more of your time. I would like to go ahead and first and foremost, thank you for watching the video. If you liked it, please consider subscribing to the channel for more content. Check out our Discord server, link is down below, and check out our live streams that when we do have on a channel. So if you hit that bell notification, you will get notified, or if you join our Discord, you'll be notified when a live stream happens on this channel. And I would love to see you guys there. I'd love to see what your guys' opinion of the space is. I would love to see what your ideas are to try to make the space better. So, like always, keep it classy, keep it jazzy, and always try to keep it real. And I will catch you in the next video.